Hello everyone, it's Feral War here and welcome to the channel. So guys, in this game I've got you a top tier player fight between Xiphos' Highelves led by the heir of Anarion himself, Tyrion, going against Ondjage's Darkelves led by the Witch King of Nagaroth, Malekith himself. So guys, this is a game from the Slann Slam tournament that was hosted by Pippington. Please find below the Discord to actually follow these tournaments and the full cast from myself yesterday on YouTube. So guys, let's check the builds first and get right into the game. Okay everyone, so for the builds, we got us Tyrion leading the High Elves with only Foe Seeker and the Sunfang item for that beautiful flame damage. And magic damage. We got us a Mage of High. She has Tempest and Apotheosis with the Shield of Sapphire. So two pretty spammable spells with 11% damage resist map wise on each casting. That's a nice combination in my opinion. Two Spearmen, four White Lions of Shrace or Crace depending on where you're from in the world. A Swordmasters of Hoeth for that anti-infantry armor piercing damage. 3 archers and 2 dragon princes, all around great cav unit just to get into the face of the other opponent. As for Ondjage's Dark Elf, they are led by Malekith with the Gaze of Malice and Word of Pain for that minus 44 to melee attack. He's got a Sorceress of Shadow with Mystifying Miasma and Enfeebling Foe, all around great unit, and the Dark Star Cloak. 2 Bleak Swords ranked up to rank 1, 1 Black Arc Corsair, 2 Witch Elf for the rampaging mechanic we all love about the Dark Elves, the 1 Harganeth Executioner, Black Arc Corsairs as well but with handbows, 3 Cold One Knights for that anti-large armor piercing beautiful damage coming from a cav unit, 2 Dark Rider with Repeater Crossbow, and the Reaper Ball Thrower. So guys, I will not comment a lot about the formations, about the builds here. Let's get into the game first so we can check out how the top tier players actually use these units in a fight. Alright people, let's get right into formations now. We got the White Lions of Shrace forming up the center of the High Elf and on each flank there as well, with the Spearmen right in front of them just helping out defending against cav, maybe pushing that way to defend from a frontal charge or push on the other flank just to defend from anti-large cavalry. With the 3 archers in the center, very good. Like, there is nothing really to comment about it. This is more about the gameplay in the mid of the game more than how they started. With the Dragon Princes in the rear, but this is smart, giving spaces for the Dragon Princes to push through to get frontal charges, or actually keeping them a little bit to the flank over there where they can flank around or maybe just get a calf to calf fight. With the Swordmasters of Hoeth, in the center right beside the Mage of High with Tyrion. Now something I did not comment about the builds. The Mage of High has Apotheosis and Tempest with the Shield of Sapphire. Apotheosis have a very low cooldown, so does the Tempest. So casting a lot of them will just spam the Shield of Sapphire of 11% damage resist map wide. This is very good. This is a very nice combination. You should definitely think about using that in your competitive games, guys. As for Tyrion, he's leading up the frontal charge and wide, and this is, let me put it this way, there is a reason why Tyrion is really that front, and you will see right off the bat in the beginning of the game. As for Ondjage's Dark Elves, he's got a very simple formation with the frontal, all his infantry except the Witch Elves in the back, with the 3 cav right there, with the Reaper Ball Thrower, with Malekith and the Sorceress of Shadow, with the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbow on the left flank, and that's it. As you can see, very simple formation, and let's start off the game. So, right off the bat, Ondjage notices how Xiphos has his army set up, so he notices that the Dragon Princes actually have a push through the units to get into the face of his infantry, so he backs off with the Harganeth Executioner. That's a very high valuable unit, not at all, just not a unit you just want to sacrifice or send in the front right away. So, same thing, the Reaper Ball Thrower is just firing right now, was firing at the Dragon Princes, and now it's firing, was firing on the White Lions of Shrace, and now it's going to switch to the Dragon Princes, as the Dragon Princes is a very high valuable target. But this is the reason why Tyrion is up in the front. Would you look at that beautiful thing that's gonna happen? Wow, man! Big damage, big move from Tyrion right off the bat. He has first blood, just taking out these Bleak Swords, and now that's a unit that's only worthy of sacrifice, not to fighting. Malekith retaliates with the Gaze of Malice on the archers, just taking out the skirmish fight little by little, putting them down and just disrupting the formation so not a lot of archer fire will come in. pushing up the Black Ark Corsairs with handbows. This is a good and bad thing. The bad thing is they're really focused by 2 archers, which is a lot. The good thing is they can actually start with the skirmishing on the White Lines of Chase, get more damage in, neglect the casting of the Apotheosis. Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma cast on the other White Lines of Chase, just a good... just, you know, little bit by little bit damage coming in, and then, you know, disrupting the formations, making the Highelves push back. But now the Highelves actually recognize that the Reaper Bolt Thrower has its sights on the Dragon Princes, and a lot of Dragon Princes already. 3 of them has been down from the first volley from it. And now, guys, the moment of truth. The Heir of Anarion and the Witch King of Nagaroth are taking it in their hands, going face to face, and now this is something lore... like, this is something for the lore masters everywhere. This fight is a beautiful fight. Now, let's pause it. Okay, guys. Let's check what's going on, because a lot of things have been going on. Bleak Swords have been pushed in the front to sacrifice for the Dragon Princes incoming in with the Spearmen and the White Lions of Chase. Cold One Knights and Cold One Knights getting pushed in with the help as well with the Witch Elves. This was a little bit clumsy from Xiphos. Pushing the Dragon Princes right in the face of the Witch Elves is never a good idea. Even if you're just cycle charging, coming in and out, with one successful hit from one model of Witch Elves to one model of Dragon Princes, the Dragon Princes are locked in. On the other hand, the Harganeth Executioners are pushing onto these White Lines of Chase, but in the same time, the Cold One Knights have been pushed into with having a frontal charge in the face of the White Lines of Chase. So the Harganeth Executioner will have its charge off. White Lines of Chase are just getting charge damage from the Cold One Knights and pushing back the Black Ark Corsair that was actually pushed to the front to actually get them off the White Lines of Chase, because White Lines of Chase versus the Black Ark Corsairs is never really a good fight. And now these Witch Elves are being pushed here as well to actually keep the Dragon Princes when they come in, to keep them in the fight. Now let's start. As you can see, the Cold One Knights have been pushed in onto the Dragon Princes. The Black Ark Corsairs with handbows are getting pushed into the fight of melee. Witch Elves have been put in a way where they're actually covering these 2 units, the White Lines of Chase and these Dragon Princes. Already these White Lines of Chase with the Cold One Knights, with the Cold One Knights charge, are already losing the battle. As you can see, they're down to about 25% health, lost half its units, and now they're just getting destroyed. The Swordmasters of Hoeth are actually getting pushed in as well, but the Reaper Bolt Thrower in a minute now will switch its sights on the Swordmasters of Hoeth, as this is a very juicy target to start firing. And now, as you can see, these Dragon Princes have been locked in, with the other ones locked in as well. This is very big for Ondjage, keeping the Dragon Princes in the fight, fighting Bleak Swords, Cold One Knights, and like Harganeth Executioners. Very high AP values of damage coming in on the Dragon Prince as well, using the Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbow in the back to disrupt the Archer Fire. And now it's just the High Elf and the before the High Elves and the Sorceress of Shadow before got into a little bit of a scuttle, but the High Elf Mage came up high really good. It destroyed the Sorceress of Shadow, and now Malekith has his sights on the Mage of High, with already Tyrion getting hit pretty badly by Malekith and had to retreat from this fight to actually not get rampaged by the Witch Elves. The archers are still firing at the Black Ark Corsairs. Malekith has his sights on the Mage of High. Now Malekith will run away from Tyrion and now come in again on Tyrion because he's locked in by the Cold One Knights. The Reaper Bolt Thrower now has a very nice, like, it's just doing whatever it wants. Nothing is going on to stop it. These Swordmasters of Hoeth will get fired upon now by the Reaper Bolt Thrower, and a lot of damage they're going to eat. Let's slow it down again because, guys, there's a lot of things going on. First thing, Dragon Princes on this side rampaging down from 45 models to 15. These guys are completely lost their mastery. Same thing for the other side of the Dragon Princes, down to 17 models. Mastery is off, so only melee defense of 27 instead of 39. Of 39. And this is very bad for them. Especially with... Is that poison? That's... Oh yeah, the Madness of Cain. That actually decreases melee defense even more. So these guys are just eating a lot of damage and not cycle charging as they should be. You always want the Shock Cavalry to keep cycle charging and not stay in the fight. But with the Witch Elves hitting both of them and then just staying there, very well played by Ondjage, just keeping those two very busy. And now his Reaper Bolt Thrower is just firing upon these Swordmasters of Hoeth. As for Malekith and Tyrion, they're back into a fight to the death. As you can see them, they're just going ham on each other. This Cold One Knight just got killed badly by Tyrion, and now, as you can see, look at that beautiful volley from the Reaper Bolt Thrower just hitting these Swordmasters of Hoeth in the rear. That's a big chunk of damage right there. And they have actually been hit by the Word of Pain, so minus 44 melee attack. So these Swordmasters of Hoeth only have 2 melee attack for the 34 melee defense from the Harganeth Executioner. These guys are losing pretty badly. Now let's continue. The reason, I'm sorry if I pause a lot, but a lot of things are going on, and I want to showcase the beautiful gameplay from both players. Now let's continue. The archers now have an open fire on the Dark Rider with Repeater Crossbow. That's a very good target. Large targets and large skirmish cav always gets taken down easily by skirmish fire. Now Malekith left Tyrion fighting these Cold One Knights and now went on to these Swordmasters of Hoeth and the Dragon Princes just to rout them and get them off the map. Tyrion is just going boldly versus Malekith, and that was a big chunk of health from Malekith there, hitting Tyrion pretty badly in the face. Now Tyrion is just getting destroyed with its Cold One Knights. Just the freaking rampage just made them switch their targets and go onto these White Lions of Chase. If they would have stuck to Tyrion, Tyrion would have died right here and now. So Ondjage has a very nice lead on the unit counts now, and he finally hit that clump of White Lions of Chase with the Spearmen and the Dragon Princes with the Gaze of Malice, and now a lot of damage is just getting kicked in as well. But actually Xiphos is winning this, so Ondjage is coming in to help out. Harganeth Executioners pushing off these White Lines of Chase. Now Xiphos is regrouping on this area over here with Tyrion and the White Lines of Chase with the Swordmasters of just making a little regroup, just forming up ranks again. But Ondjage will not relent, and he's pushing his Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbow to actually push in some damage there, because these Cold One Knights with the Rampage mechanic, they decided that they need to get in onto this fight. Always bad to get units rampaging. Always really bad, especially the Cold One Knights. They have pretty poor decisions to make when they're rampaging. Now, a little forming up from both players. This Reaper Bolt Thrower is still firing unimpeded, destroying that clump over there. Just has a free reign of fire, and now I think it's firing at the Dragon Princes most probably, because I don't see a lot of archery. Oh, it's just switched on these archers with the anti-infantry ammo, and these guys just got destroyed from one volley, and I think they're gonna rout now. Yeah, here we go. And a shatter happens to these archers. Malekith pushing upon these other two archers, and then he's just pushing out all of that. The Reaper Bolt Thrower is still firing at the archers, and this is very bad. Just a couple of volleys on these White Lines of Chase or these Dragon Princes, or even Tyrion. The anti-large volley would have hit him right in the face, did a lot of good damage. And there we go. A hit. And another hit goes into Tyrion. Not a lot of damage coming in, but all that trickle damage with the Mage of High still alive will not add up to a lot. But deciding to send in the Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbow on Tyrion to hold him down for Malekith and the Witch Elves to come in and help. Witch Elves are coming in. Malekith is coming in as well. Tyrion getting cast Apotheosis on him, so right now he has 11% damage resistant, melee defense of 60, and he causes fear. So these guys are not long for the world, these Dark Rider crossbow. Malekith taking a little bit of a detour to get actually in the empty area over there, where he can actually get his charge off on Tyrion. As you can see, Tyrion is just regenerating a lot of health. Now Malekith came in, Witch Elves coming in, hopefully trying to rampage Tyrion, but a beautiful Sunfang comes in, kills these Witch Elves, destroys these Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbow, does a lot of good damage as well on Malekith. And now Tyrion has his eyes set upon Malekith with Apotheosis hitting Tyrion as well, healing him up, just keeping him in the fight. Tyrion is a really good duelist, as he doesn't have armor piercing, but he's got the duelist, so he's got a lot of pure damage getting in on Malekith. Malekith sending in these Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbow on Tyrion as well to keep him away from him, but Xiphos will reply with sending in the Dragon Princes on them, maybe doing a little bit of damage, just getting these guys out. They're not long for this world. All he wants is just to free up Tyrion, so Tyrion can actually follow Malekith and kill him. Malekith finally Ondjage decides this is no time for the Mage of High to stay alive, but too little too late. The Mage of High, I think they're already out of Winds of Magic. The Mage of High just did his job beautifully, very nicely. Shield of Safri on all the units, Apotheosis on Tyrion, just keeping the guy alive. Tyrion is a damn tank. And also with Apotheosis, he regains his martial mastery and gets a melee defense of 72 when he's on it. So that is a lot. Ondjage is trying to screen out from Tyrion's sight using Malekith, but Tyrion is much faster with 90-something speed, and he is not even that tired. He's only tired while Malekith is exhausted, so he's even slower. Ondjage decides he will not have this crap anymore. He's not a person that runs away. Sends in Malekith for the fight. And now a final true facing off between the true king of the heir of Anarion and the witch king of the witch king of Nagaroth. The witch king of Nagaroth falls, and it's a death for the Darkelves from here on out. Very nice comeback from Xiphos, just sticking it out to the end, healing Tyrion, keeping that apotheosis spam going on Tyrion, keeping the Mage of High alive. I think the biggest mistake Ondjage did was the Mage of High staying alive. He should have taken out the Mage of High whenever he can, focus at him with anything he's got, the repeater crossbow, Malekith, anything, should have done anything and everything possible to kill the Mage of High. As I mentioned before, like when I play Skaven, I use Skaven trickle damage, just a little bit of damage from Skrolk's Blessing of Filth, from Skrolk's Rod of Corruption, and the Warlock Engineer with its armor to just take down the health of units. Xiphos did the opposite. He kept healing units and giving them damage resist whenever possible, using Apotheosis and the Shield of Safri on the Mage of High. So it's always good to take out the casters right in the beginning of the game. Don't leave the casters alive. The more the game prolongs, the better the caster gets. We can just fast forward now because literally Tyrion can take out all these units unimpeded and do whatever he wants and will not lose to any unit at the moment. Very well played to both players. You have got to hand it to them. This was a beautiful game done by both players. Tyrion's usage was beautiful. The Mage of High healing Tyrion whenever possible, casting the Shield of Safri, spamming it, 11% damage resist on all the map is always great. Bleak Swords and Black Ark Corsairs pushing in on the Tyrion, but as I mentioned before, Tyrion is really tanky. Foe Seeker casted, keeping him in the fight, increasing his vigor, just, you know, starting to cycle charge, and that's it for the Dark Elf with only these two units alive. And Tyrion, Dark Elves decide to have a mass shatter, and that is it. Very well played, something deserving of a final battle in a final series in the tournament of the Slann Slam. Now, this is a beautiful game. Now let's check the stats. Mage of High, okay, with 0 kills, it's not kills. That guy, this girl, or that guy, I don't know, just kept the game going for Xiphos. Brought him back from losing. Xiphos, Ondjage had a big lead on Xiphos, but that Mage of High healing Tyrion, keeping him in the fight, just took back the game for Xiphos. White Lines of Chase, very nicely used. These guys with the 9, these guys were getting hit by the Reaper Bolt Thrower in the beginning. 68 kills on the Swordmasters of Hoeth. Very tanky unit, very nice unit as well, but even with all the focus fire from the Reaper Bolt Thrower and the and getting charged in the face by the Cold One Knights, they did pretty well for their cost. I have to admit it. Archers not really that good. 14 kills, 6 and 15. They got disrupted right off the bat in the beginning of the game by the Dark Riders with the repeater crossbow. Other than that, I think my voice is gone. Oh my god, that was a beautiful game. I enjoyed casting it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as well. Please don't forget, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for more battles, guys. I have a lot of battles coming up from the cast. Please find below in the description as well the cast from last time for all the games that were played in the Slann Slam. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Cheers and have a nice day.